Hey everyone, how are you doing? I'll take off my super tiny glasses. Hello. Hello everyone. Thursday afternoon. How's everybody doing? It is Thursday, right? I'm sort of losing track of time. I'm going to give you all moments to settle a quiet time in your day where we can spend. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's your job. I'm going to ask you to just give me a thumbs up or give me a heart. You know how this goes, right? As long as I know somebody's there, I can keep on yapping at you. But I'm excited to be here because I've been thinking about pancakes. I actually woke up thinking about pancakes in the middle of my sleep at 4 a.m. And I was thinking that, do people really need to learn how to cook pancakes? I don't know. Probably it's pretty straightforward, but it'll be fun because I think right about now, self-isolation is feeling long in the tooth, right? It's feeling like, I don't know how long I can handle this. And I thought less serious, but still nutritious would be kind of fun. And I think pancakes are the answer. So for those who don't know, I am Tosca Reno. I am the Eat Clean lady, and I am coming to you from my little cabin with my old-fashioned wooden stove and my very old-fashioned cook stove here. And today we're going to be making pancakes, and it's a pleasure to be here. It's always preparing something and showing you how to make maybe a little twists and changes in the way that you eat these spectacularly fun foods. So pancakes for many people are a joy. And I can't say that I love super cakey pancakes, but what I really like are the nutritious ones. And wait till you see the spread I have lined up here. So what you can do for me is give me a thumbs up. Can you hear me okay? How's the sound? I've been working on my internet. Living in the country, it's pretty hard. So just give me a, yes, I can hear you. I can see your comments. Let me just see who's here. Let's see who's joining in. Hey, someone named Carmen Douglas said, Tosca, you changed my life with your Eat Clean Diet Recharged book back in 2011. That's so lovely. And Teresa's here. I spoke with Teresa this morning. And Audra, I know she was writing a little bit about pancakes. Thank you so much. This is great. The other day we had people from Sweden, from Finland, from Italy. So we have a global community. This is so nice. It's so much fun. And you can hear me. Yay. I'm just going to check all my sound up. We wouldn't want to miss out of yours. All right, so today is a way of introducing you to the idea of soaking your grains. So the first recipe we're going to make is my oatmeal banana pancakes. And what I have done is, you see this is a sort of a gloppy mixture, but it's because I soaked my oats overnight. Oatmeal is the critical part of this recipe. And I've also soaked the flax. So when you can see the little brown bits in the pancake mix, whoops, can you see that? Yep. And can you see that over there? I'm doing this on you got to soak those seeds. Otherwise, they just don't do a good job for you. But ladies, I have a little tip to listen up. It's good for men too, but ladies. Flax seed. Flax seed is exceptionally good for all kinds of menopausal symptoms. And if you can get yourself up to 3 tablespoons a day of the golden, not brown, you will help yourself quite a bit with those hormonal hot flashes and things that happen as our lives change from being fertile to not so. So let's not be scared about that. Let's just handle it with flaxseed and lots of other fun stuff. Okay, so the first part of the recipe is I have to mash 2 bananas. Now I have some super ripe bananas, so I've mushed it all up. Mush, mush, mush. It's pretty liquidy. And I brought all these ingredients to room temperature. Let me make sure my pan is behaving too. And so that goes in the bowl. It's 2 mashed bananas. That's kind of fun. Kids can make that. Now, I love adding banana because there's sweetness, but also tons of fiber. So let me put that in the kitchen, which will get the dirty dishes. That's me. Later. Okay, next thing is we're going to put in this 2.5 cups of oatmeal soaked overnight just in water, and then I drained it a bit, and I've got in here also, so that's going to go plop. I'll show you that mixture in just a minute. It's pretty mushy, this whole thing. There we go. So that's going in the sink. It smells good though. It smells good. And now we have to add, now we're going to have a discussion about eggs, okay? We're going to add whole eggs. I know a lot of you, and there was a day where I did too, use only, I'm going to use whole eggs because you actually can't absorb the protein from the egg white without the fat. So let me just crack this egg and see if I can without making a mess. Nope. There. So I might just, there. So there's a really good, lovely yellow, organic. Yeah, I don't want to drop that on my computer. This on my computer for y'all. So the yolks, we want the whole thing in there. There's a lot of nutrients, particularly vitamin D in there. And vitamin D, by the way, for any of you interested in helping out your immune system a little bit, helps make every illness, so all-cause symptoms and all-cause disease, less intense if you take lovely drops of vitamin D every day. Okay, what do we want in here? Oh, we're going to add some flaxseed. No, I already did flaxseed. I lied. A little vanilla, I think. A little vanilla, and I organic kind. Tastes better. Doesn't have that awful. It's a little bit jam tight. There, I just throw it in there, and I'm going to add a little bit of almond meal, so about 3/4 of a cup of almond meal. I use so much almond meal. I just put it in a container like that because this is the basis also for my paleo bread, right? So shoot me any questions that you may have, and this is what's happening in the bowl, okay? So it's getting a good old stir, and you're getting a nice little, and it's kind of thick, and you can't really, somehow, you know, for me, pancakes, you can't really mess up because you're just kind of like throwing a bunch of mushy stuff together. And then as long as your pan is good and hot, and we always know the first pancake is always a bit of a throwaway. Now I'm using a bit of my favorite coconut oil in the pan because it has a very high smoke point. Oh, you can't see that, can you? There, let me see. There, is that better? Okay, I'm using that kind of coconut oil. Any kind of coconut oil would be good, preferably not in plastic. Notice that's a glass jar. You don't want to absorb all the BPAs from plastic. Okay, so my pan is not quite hot enough. Get your pan good and hot, and while we're waiting for it to cooperate, I had a really scary day yesterday. True confessions of the quarantine mama. So I was all set to do my live workout with kettlebells. I'm really loving kettlebells and having a good time with those. And I was all set to do it, and I checked in on my mother, who's 84, and she was sick, very sick. Like when I heard her voice and she started talking, she was actually delirious. She was confused, and it did not look good. And I asked her what her symptoms were. She was chatting away with me. Oh, the pan's hot. You can hear the sizzle. And was losing consciousness as we were speaking. So thankfully, I have my lovely, wonderful, amazing daughter, Rachel, who I called quickly in on the phone because we did a 3-way. I'm so technical. And yeah, there was a real scare that mom had COVID, the virus. She doesn't. But I will tell you, it highlighted for me the reality of this virus and the things we can do and to keep others healthy, to keep the people we love healthy. And for me, much of this begins in the kitchen with food like this, and taking the extra steps to soak the grains, soak the flax seed ingredients. Get the kinds of ingredients like this coconut oil that help fight. It's antiviral. It's one of the few fats that's antiviral. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm antiviral? So you can use that as a moisturizer. You can use it as a makeup remover, but you can use it in your diet as I'm using in this. Oh, I got to pay attention here. Oh, it's smelling good. but it's the basis of all. I'm going to show you the pancakes in a minute. If I show them to you right now, they're going to slide out of the pan. That's it. But anyway, if you have this arsenal of healthy foods at your disposal and they're already in your diet, they're already in your body, this is the part where you're not going to put a lot of pressure on the healthcare system with a broken immune system. We have to do everything we can to keep our immune systems intact. And that means we need to give them proper fuels. And our immune systems can get damaged by something called the pits. You know what the pits are? I'll tell you. It's infection, lack of sleep, and those are the things that can really, I wrote a blog about that, you might find it interesting. Those are the things that really damage our immune system. And when we have all those things in place, all that stress to our body, all that brokenness, how are we ever going to fight disease, right? And sugar is just one of those things that really knocks your immune system out. You've heard me say this before. Okay, we're coming along with these pancakes. They take a little bit to cook, but can you get a sense of what's happening in the pan? Yes, pancakes. I think it's going to be pancakes for dinner. They're cooking. Now, I'm going to make one more pancake recipe. These pancakes are just having a little simmer here, but in the meantime, what I'm doing is I noticed when I talked about pancakes earlier, there was a big discussion about what kind of syrup to put on and all that jazz. Well, first of all, I don't put syrup on pancakes unless it's maple syrup, and a popular favorite, but it needs to be a really good quality. Oh my God, I always get this wrong. Here we go. It needs to be a really, can you see that? Kinsip, but it needs to be a really good dark colored grade A maple syrup. So I do that. But what I really prefer is to make a berry sauce with frozen berries. And why, I'm going to just turn the heat up on the berries. Why I like that so much is because I like my berries with my breakfast. So that's an opportunity at breakfast time to go ahead and make a nice berry sauce. There we go. Getting the smoky in here. So those pancakes are just going to go here on a side plate or throw it on the counter as I just did. That's okay. So we're going to we're going to move this pan closer now, and we're going to turn that one off. I have a small kitchen, what can I say? And what we're going to do now is I'm going to squeeze a lemon into my berry sauce for added vitamin C. It comes in super handy. Oh, I shot that into the other pan. Did you hear it? Comes in super handy at this time for pumping up our immune system. So I'm going to add that to the berry sauce. Berry sauce so far only has a cup and a half of berries. There we go. Throw that over there. And a little bit of water and some lemon juice. So I'm going to let that cook. What's the great frozen berries is who knows? I mean, who knows what's happening in the next 2 or 3 weeks? But having frozen berries in stock in your refrigerator or in your freezer is awesome for your pancakes. Oh, that's getting a little hot there. Let me just move that over. There we go. A little crowded. But also in your smoothies, right? So I keep these on hand, berries, and also mango. How delicious is mango, right? So you can make a nice berry sauce. And you can flavor it if you want to with things like lemon juice, but what you want is to get it to a good boil on the stove, and it'll get syrupy as it cooks. So that's pretty awesome. Now we're going to make you should see the mess I'm making over here. So now we're going to make the second pancake recipe because you want to have choices. So we're going to put that over here. And the next one is going to be cottage cheese pancakes. And this recipe couldn't be any more ridiculously easy, okay? So we have cottage cheese, 1 cup. This is a 3-ingredient recipe. Are you ready for it? So 1 cup of cottage cheese, 1 cup of soaked oats. Get in there. Done. And now I've got to add eggs, right? So the berries are boiling. Everything's going on over here. It's pretty simple. This, you know what? You can make pancakes with your kids. Don't forget to compost your eggs, your eggshells, I mean. There we go. They're almost out. I'm putting in 6 eggs, 6 whole eggs, because you need the fat to absorb nutrients. You can't do an egg white. It doesn't work. It's actually, it's so ridiculous. It's like you're eating the protein, and without the fat, you might as well not even bother eating the egg because you're just not getting any of the good stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to wipe my hands. There we go. For this one, I'm going to put a little bit of vanilla in and some cinnamon. Just sprinkle some in. Cinnamon is awesome for managing blood sugar. Always check to make sure that the top is on. In this case, it was off. I would have dumped the whole jar in. Okay, so now we're going to mix up that recipe. And the cottage cheese is a solid source of protein. Again, you want to be using full fat. So there's cooking here. Send me your tips for pancake making. I'm a big fan of learning new things. I want to share one other topping with you. I think this might be kind of fun. Another topping to use is simply to warm up peanut butter. And if you're like my son-in-law, you can do peanut butter with a little bit of chocolate in it, and he heats that up on the stove, and that becomes his pancake topping. He doesn't like sweet. He doesn't like berries. So how much fun is that? Okay, let's see. Let's see what's going on here on this little feed. Oh, and if you happen to know somebody that is interested in pancakes or learning how to eat clean, why don't you tag them in this by just writing in the comment, writing the person's name. Hey, Charmin. Charmin was with me at one of my very first retreats in Costa Rica. What a blast. We had such fun. She's a doll. And she has a fantastic website, too. So that's Charmin Meadows, who's on the thread here. And I see Audra, who is from Utah. She's doing one of my 3E's programs. So much fun. If you're listening on the replay, thank you so much for listening. Also, just put in hashtag replay and your name and tag somebody you think might benefit from all of this. So my team and I have been meeting nonstop on how to handle, doing our business as we progress through this, let's say, through this pandemic. And last week we decided we just don't want to be out there promoting anything. It doesn't seem like the right thing to do. And this week, we're still doing the nurturing. I've had a scare with my mom and all that, but about was for us to go back to work, because if there was ever a time that my programs are going to help the public, help you, is right now. These are the moments when we need to learn how to fortify ourselves against disease. And this is not the first virus that we'll see, and it's certainly not the last one. There will be many to come. And if there's anything I'd love you to be able to do is to really keep yourselves well stocked in the kitchen. Have these recipes handy, have these ingredients handy, and have your plan B handy. How to eat clean when you're in quarantine, how to exercise when you're stuck at home, how to take care of your mental, emotional stuck at home. I post pictures of things that I've been cooking here. The berries are really bubbling away nicely. And I thank you so much for joining me. Make these recipes, post your own pictures, post your own recipes. I'd love to see those. Post your success stories. I'd love to hear from any of you who've had an Eat Clean success story. That would really be powerful for me. We had someone share a letter earlier this week who went to the doctor for her physical checkup, her annual checkup, and her report was so good, the doctor was just shocked and wanted to know what she was doing, and she was like, eat clean. So I'm sure you all have treasures of stories, and I'd love to hear them. So please have an open dialogue with me. Please put your comments down below. Send your heart, send your love, send where you're listening from, and I will be sure to answer to you. Take good care of yourself. Stay strong during the quarantine. Tomorrow morning, I'll be doing a rebounder workout. And don't worry, if you don't have a rebounder, it's okay. You can do it with a skipping rope or nothing at all, and I'll show you how to get through the workout. So tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. EST. All right? We got some surprises coming up for you next week, too. So thanks again for listening. Sending worldwide hugs of love and wellness, joy and happiness. Thank you, thank you.